going to talk about socializing Emma to handling. It's important to socialize them to people, places, things, noises, all that good stuff, as well as how people touch her. There are dogs that get aggressive if you touch them a certain way, and as well as that visit, getting her used to being touched in certain ways to be able to make the vet a good experience, because we all hear horror stories about that. So number one is their ears. Want to make sure that they're good, to hit their ears clean. They're not trying to bite you. They're not trying to wiggle away, anything like that. What you can do is when you're just petting her, hanging out at home, grab her ears, squeeze them a little bit, occasionally flipping them over, petting the inside. Be careful of your fingernails. Kind of sticking your finger in the grooves there. Good girl, all while giving her praise. Good girl. Use the other ear. Good girl. You want other people, strangers, other people in your family, to do these exercises with your puppy, so it's just not singularly you. So that's ears. Feet are ones you do want to mess with a lot. You hear a lot of dogs don't like to get their nails clipped, just a tear, or they get aggressive whenever they do it. With her breed, with her being groomed a lot, having her be comfortable with people touching her in places is important. So I'd start with just petting her where she's comfortable, up at her head or her chest, and working your way down, slowly squeezing her legs. Not hard, just putting a little bit of pressure on there. Good girl. Maybe rub her paws a little bit. Yay! Good girl. Tug on her nails. Maybe play with her pads, squeeze her pads a little bit. We're not going to allow her to throw a tantrum. If she throws a tantrum, that's going to go into the play biting direction. Good girl. She's being pretty good. Yes. So that's for her paws and her legs. Her teeth, to get her used to having, a toothbrush in her mouth, or a vet opening her mouth and checking out her gums. What is going on up there? Take your finger, and just like how you would brush the side of your teeth, you're going to take your finger, put it inside, and run along the gums, putting a tiny bit of pressure in there. Good girl. Good girl. You don't want to have her chewing on your finger. That's not allowed. But she needs to be okay with somebody being inside of her mouth. Hey. Good girl. Different handling exercises you can do, as far as how children would hold her, is taking her and giving her short little squeezes, short little hugs, and then letting her go. Most dogs do not like being hugged, but they do need to get used to it, because that's what kids tend to do. And dogs that aren't used to being hugged and a random child comes up and squeezes the death out of them, they tend to freak out and react, and you don't want a bite in the process. She tried to bite me? No. No. That's much better. Patting the head. Children like to do that. Good girl. Short little pats. Good girl. Good girl. Now onto the back end. Squeezing her belly. Working with her belly a little bit. The vet will go ahead and do that. You can hear, I don't know if you can hear, but she's grunting a little bit. Doesn't really like that too much. Scratching her back end. Rubbing it a little bit. Getting used to that thermometer, because nobody wants that. Her tail, taking her tail and slowly squeezing her tail a little bit. Get a little too rambunctious there, girly. Squeezing her tail a little bit, getting her used to the pressure down there. So that's some handling exercises you can do with her. Don't forget to have strangers do it as well. Good girl. Ready. Place. So, pulled out a few tools here. Ones that you're probably going to be running to later on with Emma here. You can socialize her to different ones of these as well. So I've got two different kinds of brushes. I have a bath brush here. It's just soft rubber, regular brush with the metal. Probably one that you're going to be using. As well as a finger toothbrush, toothpaste, and a nail clipper here. They do come in different varieties. I prefer this one. Most vet clinics have this one as well, so that's why I have got this. So, just like with different objects that make noise, you would socialize them to these, which I've already done. I've already showed them to her. I've already given her treats. So she's pretty confident with them being around her face, that kind of stuff. So you want her to get used to having different objects touch her. Brushing, she's really good with. I've already done this a couple of times. You just show her, you start with the back, because that's what it's most comfortable with. Do one short stroke, give her a treat. Do a couple more, give her a treat. Do a few more than that, give her a treat. If she tries to bite it, no. Give her the puppy correction. No. Good girl. And then start again. And then slowly work your way up to the areas that she's not as comfortable with, like her noggin. Do try to brush her noggin. Probably not with this, probably with just a small comb, because groomers will do that. Good girl. Very, very short exercises. The next one here, same concept you would use with the other brush, just a different feeling for her. No. No. You're just a little too comfortable. Brushing her with something that feels different. I've got one thumb on her collar so she doesn't leave. You're not going to want to hold her down though. Dogs resist that. Alright. So, having this stuck in her mouth is going to feel a little bit weird. So getting her used to sniffing it. Good girl. I'm going to take just a tiny bit of toothpaste here. Chicken flavored. Gross. Clean it on the end and just letting her lick it off. Can't imagine that tastes good. Huh? Good girl. Give her praise. Good girl. Then I would go ahead and then put this away. The next time I would bring it out when she's comfortable with eating something off of it. I would just stick it in her mouth. I would just stick it in her mouth just a little bit, and then I would take it out. Slowly working my way up to it being in her mouth for longer. You want her to willingly go for it and be comfortable with it before you shove it in her mouth. You're not going to spend, ooh, does not taste good apparently. You're not going to spend a whole bunch of time brushing her teeth. Going to do very, very, very short exercises. It's not like us people where we put the timer on for 2 minutes and then be done with it afterwards. Even though she does have puppy teeth and they are going to be coming out, you do want to get her used to getting her teeth brushed. No. It's way easier to do it now when she's this tiny little thing as opposed to later on when she's way bigger and you're struggling to get that thing near her. No. Nail clipper is very similar to that. You're going to show it to her, give her a treat, show it to her, give her a treat. Then you're just going to pet her with them on her legs. Give her treats while she's doing that. Don't let her chew on it. No. No. Girl. Just make sure she's calm. Just tapping her toes with it. I'm not even doing anything. Occasionally, make sure her face is out of the way before you do this. Just open and close them so she gets used to the noise. Girl. What you're going to do is you're just going to take one nail, clip it, and then be done. Good girl. Give her lots of praise, give her lots of love. Then the next time you're going to go ahead, take one nail again, clip it, and then be done. You're just going to do a nail a day and just rotate between all the nails. Once you're able to get about 2 or 3 nails done at once, then you can graduate to doing a paw a day, and just make sure that you do keep up with it so that she gets used to it. Also, it's nice to do this, so, what are you doing? It's nice to do this. It keeps her nails short so you don't have to worry about it in the long run. You don't have those talons.